Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Theodore Sawyer, Walking with a Smile. It is June 20th, 2015. I'm thankful for my friends, my family, my loved ones, my dogs, my wonderful wife, Heather, who is out on tour right now. I miss her and love her lots and expect her home safe and sound within about a week or so. So, be happy to have her back home. But today I wanted to talk real quick about change. People, typically are getting into a habit of fearing change, and then they get stuck in a rut, and then they wonder why their life isn't progressing the way that they would like it to change, right? And so they continuously looking for life to change, but they don't want to change. They don't want things to change. So if they change, then they don't want to change. Yeah, I know. It sounds like a vicious cycle, right? So, what I wanted to point out is that change is inevitable. There's passive change and there's active change. But either way, it's happening. And if you want to grow, you need to change. You need to take an active idea in change, so that the passive changing that you go through is just happening. And it's happening in a direction that you want it to lay out and fall as you're actively changing. So, one of the things leaders do is they read, and that progresses change, right? And so you hear it from the leaders, that this industry is about growth. It's about self-confidence, self-esteem, but a lot of it is that self-development, and it's one of the greatest industries for it. It's you have to go through it. You can't skip it. You can't just go in, punch a clock, and boom, you get a paycheck and didn't have to really work on yourself that day, right? So change is inevitable, and I think there's 4 pillars of change if we're actively looking at change. And the 4 pillars to me are perceive the change that you want, that's necessary, that's needed, whichever way you want to do that, but you're perceiving it, right? You have to see it. You have to see what change is necessary. So that's why a lot of times in business we need to track what we're doing. We need to write a journal. We need to say, this is what I did today. This is what my plan of action is, so that when it comes to a quarter, a month, a week, we have something to specifically look at and go, we can change that, right? There's other reasons, but we have to perceive it. We have to perceive our change. And then we have to persist, right? We have to be working at it. We have to be consistent, right? That's what being persistent is, right? But it's a little bit more than consistency, right? Consistency's going through it, right? It's a little bit like endurance, and I'll talk about that in a second too. But if we're just being consistent, that's one aspect. But being persistent is another. And I think we need to be persistent in change, because you need to push through, right? You need to get to that other side. And so it's not just about doing the exact same thing you did yesterday. Bruce Lee talks about it as being, do one thing more than you did yesterday. Just one. And that's being persistent. And then we go on to patience. Learning to just breathe, relax, and realize that it may not happen in your time frame. But we still need to be patient with that. And then we have to persevere. And as I mentioned before, I was going to say, I'll talk a little bit about endurance. Well, here it is, right? Endurance says you're going to endure it. You can go through it. You can endure it. You can endure what's happening to you. But that doesn't mean you're attempting to make a change. That's the passive way about going about it. And we're not doing a passive change here. This is an active pillars of change, and so we need to persevere. So like endurance, you still have to go through it. Like endurance, you still have to put up with it. But unlike endurance, you're going to get past it. You're going to move on from it. You're going to change. So perceive it, persist at it, be patient, and persevere. Have an awesome day, everyone. Keep walking with a smile. Let your harmonies guide you, and I'll talk to you soon.